viewers, my name is Kiss, and welcome back to KTV Network. KTV Halls. Hi. Switching channels here. Where was I? Okay, so today I'm reacting to must try Korean skincare for the summer. So let's react. Let's see what Dr. Dre has for us. Dr. Dre? Okay, girl.
If you have sensitive skin that's prone to redness, chances are you're not worried about getting summer-ready body. You're more concerned about your face because the heat, the humidity can aggravate things. In partnership with Stylevana, I had a lineup in today's video of Korean skincare products that step up to the plate. They step up to the plate to help address the moisture barrier without being too greasy and heavy, making you overheat and precipitate flushing. They have active ingredients in them that help calm the skin, soothe the skin, tackle redness. And stay tuned to the end of the video because those of you who watched some of my other skincare product reviews for sensitive redness prone skin, I have an update.
Even though she's wearing makeup, I can tell her skin is very, very good.
I have an update that you don't want to miss. Now, when it comes to buying Korean skincare products, you guys are always asking me, where do you buy them from? Where's the best place to buy them? If you have not checked out Stylevana,
I don't see any rough surfaces, any blemishes, any obvious blemishes. She could be airbrushing, but I don't see that.
Asleep at the wheel. Stylevana is a one-stop shop for all of your Korean skincare needs, as well as Japanese skincare, Korean and Japanese beauty products. I mean, the selection they offer, huge. Anything that pops up on your social media feeds that catches your eye in the realm of Asian beauty, chances are they've got it. Not only do they offer all of the latest, greatest, trending K and J beauty products, but they're the place to go when you are watching your budget, but you want amazing Asian skincare products. They have a wide variety of options. And anytime I get the opportunity to work with them, exciting, they, you guessed it, have a discount code for you guys. So check the description box. I will put the code down there along with links to everything I'm going to be reviewing in today's video. So I've been dabbling in trying different milky toners for a while now, and some of them have been absolute misses. But this one, it checks a lot of boxes. Fragrance-free, hydrating, soothing, without a lot of background noise that might aggravate your skin. This is the Cellamax Dual Barrier Creamy Toner. It is a fragrance-free, hydrating, milky fluid with panthenol, with ceramides, glycerin, allantoin, all of the hydration, all of the moisture barrier, but a really nice lightweight texture. This is a great option to put on in the morning if you've got really sensitive skin. You know, I often recommend if you have sensitive redness prone skin, consider not washing your face first thing in the morning and just washing your face once a day at the end of the day to remove cosmetic residue, dirt, oil, sebum, all that stuff. But sometimes you want a little perk up, a little hydration before moving on to the next step in your skincare routine. This is a great option. It does just
and before I go to sleep.
That, and it layers really well under sunscreen. One of the reasons I was motivated to test this out, in contrast to any of the thousands of milky toners out there, is that this has an ingredient that I have had on my radar for some time, Aquatide. Aquatide is a peptide. Peptides really do help with improving moisture retention, but what is it about Aquatide that is unique? It's a peptide that is modeled after some of the players, if you will, in signaling for a pathway known as autophagy, which is basically cells eating themselves as a way to recycle damaged organelles and help repair damage as might occur when you're exposed to environmental aggressors that aggravate the symptoms of sensitivity, redness, burning, and stinging. Plus, this peptide has been shown to reduce transepidermal water loss, to help improve water retention in the skin, and to reduce inflammation. So all of those are extremely favorable for those of you with sensitive, redness-prone skin. And this particular texture is great for the hot, humid months because it's lightweight but hydrating. I mean, it really gets in there and addresses sensitive skin. Those of you who have been watching for a while, you know, I discovered the Skin 1004 Pro Bio Cica Intensive Ampule a while ago, and I just adore this to bits. And you're like, oh, here she goes again, talking about the slippery slimies. Here she goes again with her weird enjoyment of slimy textures, liking to eat boiled okra, snail mucin. So this product is one I often recommend because it gives what snail mucin offers for me without the use of the snails. It is a very hydrating fluid that has that slippery texture. It has niacinamide, which is really helpful for that redness. Ingredients from Centella, botanic extracts that are anti-inflammatory, soothing, and help fight off oxidative stress that would aggravate the symptoms of sensitivity and redness. It has polyglutamic acid, which is great for hydrating and improving skin elasticity. And let me tell you, one of the reasons I love this so much is that
I was right. She has very good skin. I was right.
Fine, when I use this, similar to when I use snail mucin, I get an improvement in that snap,
Snail
that recoil
mucin.
that is characteristic
I gotta
of
use
better
that.
elasticity, and I feel like the skin to the touch is firmer, plumper, dewier, fragrance-free, but maybe you don't care for the slippery, slimy texture, or you're like, okay, you've talked about that ad nauseum, we know you love it, but I'm not interested in it, I want something else. So another option here that's going to be something that it's not the only one in this category, okay? We reviewed a lot of products like this, talked about many, but there are always new options. So as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of a bib, their barrier jelly, holy grail. Discovered it back in 2024, and I love it so much. It's basically a thick, clear, colorless, glycerin-rich jelly that is excellent for sensitive skin patches on the face. Doesn't overheat you like a real heavy occlusive, but it really does reduce that transepidermal water loss dramatically. I saw this product from a bib, and I knew I had to try it. It's their glutathione dark spot serum Vitadrop. I'll be perfectly honest. The main reason I was drawn to this is the formulation has these little spheres that are loaded with antioxidants, niacinamide, glutathione, and ascorbic acid, who's that fickle vitamin C player that, on paper looks good.
Actually,
right?
what's funny is that my mom's on that, and she says a certain amount of glutathione can make your skin lighter. So definitely watch out for that. If you're into skin brightening, you're okay with that, sure. But she takes glutathione, and that's the side effect for that.
Right? It does all of these things, warding off oxidative stress, defending against free radicals, helping to fight off
Aside from health benefits, and kind of keeping you from getting sick.
hyperpigmentation and potentially boosting collagen production. It's all about the stability. Does it actually get in? So I was intrigued by this novel delivery
Without
system, and I
makeup,
like
she
that the
kinda looks like
niacinamide
Anna
and
Kendrick.
glutathione are delivered that way. Speaking of ascorbic acid in this, it also has ferulic acid, which is an antioxidant that helps with the ascorbic acid stability. These ingredients are really helpful for those of you who do deal with a lot of sensitivity and redness, because it really helps to fight off those damaging free radicals that can heighten sensitivity, while also allowing for the barrier to get back on track so as to minimize those burning, stinging sensations that you might cope with, especially in the summer months. Super lightweight, and like the other products that I've mentioned up until this point, this is a great one to put on in the morning as the first step in your skincare routine to a bare face. Now, if you are cleansing in the morning, you can put it onto damp skin, and then you can layer on other things on over it if you want, or just allow it to absorb and dry fully, and then come on over with sunscreen. The pairing of sun protection plus antioxidants, it's like a defense team against those environmental aggressors that really can heighten the symptoms of sensitivity. So I have really enjoyed this. Plus the formula is like nice and hydrating. I mean, a bib, they really nail many of their formulas. So this is great. Plus, let's just take a look at the texture here. It's like a jelly-like texture, as opposed to my other favorite, the slippery slimy. And the cool thing about those little spheres is that as you're rubbing the product in, they dissolve into the skin as you spread it across the skin surface. So it's not like you have visible little spheres on your face, releasing the antioxidant into the skin where they need to go to defend against oxidative stress. These are all very thin, very lightweight, great for those of you who find that something more occlusive is uncomfortable. Another ingredient that I've talked a lot about throughout the years that is great not only for redness, but it's also good for breakout-prone skin, hyperpigmentation, and speaking of sensitivity, is really good for those of you who struggle with rosacea. As a matter of fact, there's a prescription form of the ingredient that is used to treat acne, rosacea, and hyperpigmentation.
Because I have
Good for those of you who struggle with rosacea. As a matter of fact, there's a prescription form of the ingredient. Is really good. Talked a lot about. It's releasing the antioxidant into the skin where they need to go to defend against oxidative stress. These are all very thin, very lightweight, great for those of you who find that something more occlusive is uncomfortable. Another ingredient that I've talked a lot about throughout the years that is great not only for redness, but it's also good for breakout-prone skin, hyperpigmentation, and speaking of sensitivity, is really good for those of you who struggle with rosacea. As a matter of fact, there's a prescription form of the ingredient that is used to treat acne, rosacea, and hyperpigmentation. It's gentle and it's antibacterial, and it helps to also smooth the skin surface in a very gentle fashion. And you guessed it, it's azelaic acid. What was it? Last year I discovered this brand, ATLV. Fell in love with their sunscreen. It's amazing. I've got another one in rotation right now. And I really like their body wash. So I saw they had an azelaic acid peptid facial cream. Knew I had to try it out. And this not only has azelaic acid, which again, great ingredient for those of you with sensitive, redness-prone skin, also has compounds from centella to soothe, fight off oxidative stress, along with the azelaic acid, which does that as well. And it has licorice extract, which can help fight off redness and soothe the skin. SH oligopeptide 1. Now, peptides, again, they help with moisture content, if anything. This particular peptide, though, is sort of modeled after epidermal growth factor. Now, I have a video all about growth factor, so make sure you check that out. They're a bit of a, okay, it's not really doing what it's supposed to do. I don't know about that. In theory, it would help with improving barrier turnover and allowing the cells to recover, repair, and divide to protect you from the outside world. So I really like the texture on this. It's got shea butter in it to reduce transepidermal water loss while it is a cream. It's not super heavy, pretty comfortable, lightweight, fast absorbing, non-breezy. I've comfortably worn this morning and night. It layers under sunscreen for daytime use just fine. It could be the last step in your nighttime skincare routine, and it could be applied as your nighttime facial moisturizer. So this is a really great option. The reason I like that this azelaic acid is in such a moisturizing base is it really is getting at one of the root cause issues behind sensitivity. It's not just tackling the redness that results from that, but it's really helping to reduce that water loss that ultimately leads to more penetration of things that burn and sting and, creates a slippery slope. So a really great formula. I already mentioned that if you have sensitive skin, you might want to consider just washing your face at night to remove dirt, oil, cosmetic residue, dust, particulates, all of that. The cleanser that you choose can make or break your sensitivity. Cleansers that are maybe too harsh, they can strip away more of your moisture barrier. You want something gentle. Now, I've got a lot of videos on the benefits of double cleansing for the purposes of makeup removal. Whether you choose to do double cleansing or not, the second step of the double cleanse, or just your regular cleanser in this case, you want to choose something pretty gentle. Those of you who watch the vlog and see the behind the scenes, you already know I've been using this Arencia Rice Mucin Cleanser for some time now. So this brand, Arencia, popped up on my social media feeds. I saw people talking about their different cleansers, and I was immediately intrigued because visually they are interesting. I chose this one because I happen to find that rice ferment filtrates excellent in products aimed at sensitivity, very hydrating, full of anti-inflammatory compounds. So I really like that aspect of it. It does have niacinamide as well, which is good for redness and for hyperpigmentation and for the moisture barrier. But the whole thing about this that I have just grown to love is the way that it functions. So when you buy this and open it up, you might think, just on first glance, that it's a cleansing balm. You might get it out and rub it across the face, and you're like, oh, it doesn't really spread so well. Oh, no. This is almost like a cleansing bar in a jar, which I love for practical purposes because I really enjoy a facial cleansing bar, but I cannot be bothered to have that slippery bar sliding all around. It gets that damp, weird residue underneath. I don't know. I don't like it. This offers what a cleansing bar does, but in a convenient jar package, and then you just scoop out a little bit at a time, add some water in the palm of your hand to the product, work it up into the silkiest, dreamiest lather. When you scoop it up out of the jar, too, the other really cool thing about this is the texture is this kind of gooey, chewy-like consistency that's sort of fun, and as it works up into that silky lather, it's just a really fun product to use. You don't need very much to get a nice lather, which is another thing I really like about it. It allows you to get a more conservative amount of cleanser worked up into your hands. Speaking of hands, you can also use it to wash your hands. It's a great hand wash. So I have really enjoyed this. Rinses off the skin well. Yes, cleansers can deposit active ingredients like the niacinamide behind on the surface of the skin. They don't just wash down the drain, and it leaves the skin clean but soft, hydrated, and not feeling stripped or tight or that squeaky clean feeling. So I really enjoyed that. All right, you guys have been patiently waiting now for the update. So those of you who were following me back 2019, 2020, I want to say I was raving up and down all around town about Round Lab's mugwort calming cream. So Artemisia, or mugwort, is a botanic that has a variety of anti-inflammatory compounds. And then out of nowhere, I stopped talking about it, not because I didn't like it anymore, but because it went away. It was discontinued. Well, they have since come out with a new version that is completely different. It is much different. The reason I always liked the mugwort calming cream is it's a nice gel cream. Like I said, in the theme of this video, it's great for people who live in hot, humid climates but have really sensitive skin that's prone to redness. Got that Artemisia to address the redness or anti-inflammatory properties, but the gel cream texture of the old formula was perfect for people who don't want a heavy moisturizer. But the reformulation is different. It now has, of course, still has Artemisia in it, mugwort. It no longer has shea butter. Instead, they have added a nice addition, in my opinion, lactobionic acid, which is a polyhydroxy acid that is both hydrating and very gently exfoliates, which can be very helpful for those of you with rosacea because a bit of gentle exfoliation can help remove buildup that is thought to fuel those.
Quite frankly, I don't think if she sees this video, I don't think you need makeup. To be frank, you really don't need it.
Demodex mites that contribute to redness, little red bumps. They added sage oil, which I'm not a fan of, gives it a bit of an aroma. The texture, though, is the biggest change. The overall formula's texture is significantly different. It's no longer a lightweight gel cream. Instead, it is a much heavier moisturizer. If you're someone who likes that more lightweight facial moisturizer, you find that heavier creams exacerbate redness for you, as can happen maybe by reducing the evaporation of sweat, making you feel overheated, then I would suggest the APLB azelaic acid peptid facial cream. It's a lot more lightweight, comfortable to wear. This, though, is good if you want richer cream. As long as you know that. All right, y'all, that's a wrap up with regards to Korean skincare that I've been testing out that I think might be of interest to those of you who have sensitive skin. The upcoming summer months approaching. If you are interested in any of these, again, check the description box, use my code so you save. You want to save money.
My headphones are being shit right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and exit the video right now, because she told me basically what I need to know. But, yeah, let me know what you think about this video down in the comments below. Let me know what other skincare hauls or fashion hauls you'd like me to react to. Like and subscribe if you found it today, and I will see you guys on the next hauling reaction or the next haul video. And take care of yourselves. Thanks for stopping by, and